Hello, it is Monday and it is a new weekly reading vlog, and I have 3 book updates for you today. So yesterday I did start Scythe. I can't remember how many I read yesterday, but I am now on page 201. I have powered through this tonight and I'm almost halfway through. I'm really enjoying this. I really like the idea of the fact that there is no death, and the only reason scythes have to glean people is for population control. There's no death, and you can turn the corner, which means at any point you can decide to just be like, oh, I'm fed up of being 85, let me go be 21 again. And you can keep turning the corner unless obviously you're picked by a scythe to be gleaned, which I find fascinating. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if one day in the future that is what happens in the world. Who knows what the world's going to be like in 100 or so years. Anyway, really enjoying this. It's been a while since I've read a dystopian. It's not actually, that's a lie, because I've recently been reading the Chaos Walking trilogy, but that's sort of like a sci-fi dystopian. This is more just dystopian. But yeah, something major just happened just before I stopped reading for the night, and I was like, what? But yeah, I'm really invested in this book, which I'm really happy about. I am worried about continuing the series because I've heard some people say either the second or third book, I can't remember which one, isn't as great, but I'm not there yet, so I'm going to enjoy the first book as much as I can, which I am so far. So there's that. And then I started 2 buddy reads today. So I am buddy reading Me, My Dad and the End of the Rainbow with Helen, and we have read the first 52 pages. My bookmark is appropriate for this month. It's my little buy flag bookmark. This is from Book Bubbled Shop on Etsy, I think it was. I bought it a year ago. But this is, I feel really sad for Archie. Archie is the main character. His parents are going through the divorce. This is sort of on the blurb, but his parents are going through a divorce. And I just feel like their actions are so unfair to Archie. And yeah, I just feel really bad for Archie. I really like his friendship with these two. It's really cute. And me and Helen were talking about it, and we were saying about how, as lovely as it is, sometimes friendships between 3 people, especially when you're a kid, can be difficult. And from experience, when I was I want to say all through secondary school, my best friends were there was 3 of us, and even though we didn't have favourites, we were best friends. We were the best friends that had those really cheesy things that one of you had I think they were key rings. I think we had key rings and we had necklaces, and they all joined up, and one had best, one had friends, and one had forever, and the necklaces joined up. We were those teenagers. But yeah, and even though we were all really close, there were times where it did feel a little bit awkward because there was 3 of us. But overall, that was one of the perks of my teenage years, that friendship with those 2. Unfortunately, we don't speak that often anymore. We still have each other on social media, but we've just sort of grown apart as we've grown up. We're in different places now, but that's okay because it was a natural thing. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Yeah, really loving this. A revelation has been revealed, which, if you know what this book is about, which I do, I did before I went into it, you will probably know what the revelation is. Archie has just found out his dad's secret. So yes, loving this. This is such a perfect read for June for Pride Month, and also this is the middle grade monthly pick, which is hosted by Jade and Gavin. This is their pick for June, so perfect read for this month. But yeah, really enjoying this. And then I also started my buddy read of Ghost Town, which is the 9th Morganville book. I already a chunk into it, already almost 100 pages into it, obviously buddy reading this with my mum and my sister. I'm really enjoying this. I say this about every single one of these books, but I can't really say much else about it because obviously it's the 9th book, and I know that these have been out for over a decade. This one came out in 2010, but still not going to give spoilers. But what I will say is that I love how obviously as Claire's getting older and she's in Morganville for longer, she gets even more like, what's the word? It's not brave, confident in herself. And I love that about her. And I think being friends with Eve is a big part of that, because Eve don't take crap from no one. And yeah, I really love these books so much. So those were my updates. I did get some book mail today. I'm not going to show you because I'm going to wait till my book haul. I also realised I left a couple of books off of my May book haul by mistake, so I'm going to have to put them in my June book haul now. Yeah, I don't know how I managed to do that, but my June book haul is already starting to build up. One of the books is just to replace a book which my mum's going to have because I need the covers to match. So I'm thinking of filming an unhaul in the next few weeks, just because I keep looking at my shelves and I'm like, there are a few more books that I'm thinking I might get rid of. So I'm gonna have a little think, and yeah, that will be on my unhaul because I have a replacement. But enough of that. I've been talking for quite a while now, and I want to go to bed. I will catch up with you tomorrow. It is Tuesday and I'm on my lunch break in work. I read today's pages of Ghost Town before I started work this morning. They were good pages, can't say anything else than that. And then I put this up. This is my second one. Don't ask me where it's gonna go because I don't know yet, but I needed a second one, so I treated myself to a second one. If you like keep up to date with it, you might have seen that this morning they opened up vaccinations for 25 to 29-year-olds. I am 28 and I managed to get booked in for my first jab, which is the 26th of June, so I'm very excited for that. Excited's a weird word. It's more of a relieved that I have a date. But I did hear the site was just ridiculous, which is great because of how many people are getting vaccinated, but I actually had to go through my GP, not the website, because I only have one centre within walking distance and I can't do public transport at the moment. And the one that I would need to go to, you can only book through the GP. It's not available on the NHS website, so I had to do it that way, but it was fine. Did it, it's booked, it's done, I'm happy. Got some not great news in work, which plummeted my mood a little bit, and it's like one of my colleagues is leaving and not being replaced, which isn't great, but oh well. But yeah, I've still got like half of my lunch break left, so I'm gonna read a bit of Me, My Dad and the End of the Rainbow. Hello, it is a lot later. I'm about to go to bed. I did some FaceTime reading Spencer Live tonight and managed to get today's pages of this done, and I've realised that as I'm loving this, emotionally, I don't think I'm in the right place to be reading it because I'm crying at the slightest little thing. had a bit of a breakdown today to do with work, which wasn't great. But yeah, and I'm just like overly emotional. I mean, I'm always emotional anyway, but I'm just like, my emotions are in overdrive right now, and I'm like sobbing at this, but I'm really enjoying it. I do think Archie's parents are going about things not in the best way, but I'm looking forward to seeing how Archie comes to terms with what he's, well, not so much comes to terms, but like figures out what it actually, how life is going to be now that this big reveal has happened with his dad. So yeah, I'm probably making no sense right now because I'm tired and just want to burst into tears again over the stupidest little thing. So yeah, I'm gonna go, and hopefully I can actually give you some more coherent thoughts tomorrow.
Makes you sound super smart. I am smart. I know. Okay. Okay.
Hello, it is Wednesday and it is Loki day, hence me wearing my Loki Charms top that my nephew got me for Christmas. The first episode of Loki was incredible. Obviously, I'm not going to say anything about it other than go watch it. It was amazing. I watched it on my lunch break in work. Before I went on my lunch break, I messaged my colleague. I was like, Loki time. Oh, I mean lunchtime, which she found funny because I'm hilarious. But before I give you my reading updates, I have book mail. Now, there is a story behind this book mail. Yesterday, I had a bit of an incident. So, I got my second book cart, took it upstairs, and I've got one of those book organisers, and it's got my self-destruct books in, but not all of them would fit in there, so there was like two laying on top like this. I took those two off and there was a massive spider there. And my dad was at work, so I had to get rid of it myself because otherwise it would have disappeared and then I wouldn't have been able to find it. So because I was brave and got rid of the spider on my own, I treated myself to a book. So I got Love on the Main Stage. I read this author's Christmassy book, which is Love, Secret Santa. I read that at Christmas and loved it. It was so adorable. And this is sort of like a summer festival one. And I love music festivals and summer. So I got this. And I'm hoping to fit this into either my July or August TBR. I'm not really setting a TBR in July, so possibly July, but I might just save it for August and see if I can fit it on one of my prompts for Royal Readathon. But yeah, I treated myself to this. So now for updates. I read my pages of Ghost Town. I am starting to remember what direction this one takes, and I'm looking forward to remembering more as I go along because it's sort of still a bit like hazy in my brain because they all sort of merge into one. But yeah, really enjoying this, and I love Claire and Shane so much. But yeah, there was that. And then I read my buddy read pages for Me, My Dad and the End of the Rainbow that I'm buddy reading with Helen, and today's pages were really cute. So Archie goes to the arcade with his dad every Friday, and it's really cute because not only, you know, them having that little thing that they do together each week, but I love arcades, like air hockey, all the arcade machines, 2p machines. Like, I was watching one of Chloe's vlogs, and it was the one from where she went away with her family, and she showed 2p machines, and now I'm just like, I want to go to the seaside and go into the arcades and just spend all my money on 2p machines because it's been so long since I've done that. But I live close-ish to the seaside, but I would still have to get a train, and I can't do that at the moment. But anyway, yeah, arcades, love it. And also I really love Archie, Belle and Seb's like planning and scheming. It's just so funny because it's just typical kids and I love it. It's so adorable. So yeah, I made progress on this. But then my biggest progress was on Scythe. So yesterday I reached the halfway mark. I now only have about 120 pages left. I was hoping to finish this tonight. So me and Rachel joined Ashley's sprints tonight and I managed to get, I did have to read Ghost Town's pages, but I did manage to get a massive chunk of this read. So I read like 100 and something pages of this. So I'm really happy with that. And then I was thinking, oh, when we come off the sprints, I will read, possibly finish this. Yeah, we ended up chatting after we like ended the live. We ended up just chatting for like half hour. And now it's gone 11 and I'm tired. So hopefully I can finish this tomorrow. I hope so. But I'm really enjoying this. Like, Rowan's parts are taking a bit of a darker turn. I do not know how I feel about Scythe Goddard. I mean, I kind of do know how I feel about him, but yeah, don't like him. But yeah, really enjoying this. It is living up to the hype for me and I'm really glad that I'm finally reading it. But having said that, that is all my updates for today and I'm out of water, so I am going to go fill this up, down some because I am really thirsty, and then I'm going to get in bed and probably just scroll through my phone for a bit before I fall asleep. So I will catch up with you tomorrow. Hello, it is Thursday. It is almost the weekend and I am ready for it. So today work has actually been pretty okay, which is weird. It was quiet, which is a good thing because at 11 o'clock this morning, Goldsboro put up Empire of the Vampire by Joe Christoph for pre-order. It took me 3.5 hours of refreshing the page, watching it load then crash, load then crash, load then crash, crash straight away, server cannot be reached, blah blah blah. But I got it. The real like moment for me was when I hit confirm payment and it crashed and I was like, I don't know if it went through. I don't want to refresh the page. I don't want to go back in case it charges me multiple times. And then I checked my bank app and it had come out, but I didn't have an email and I was like, oh no, what's happening? It wasn't showing up in my orders on Goldsboro's website and I was like fully panicking by this point. And then about 10 minutes later, the email come through with the confirmation and I was like, hallelujah, we good. I have it. I'm gonna have 4 editions of that book. I have no regrets. My bookshelf already hates me because my J. Christoph shelf is gonna have to become an only J. Christoph shelf at this rate. It's currently my sci-fi shelf with the Nevernight books because I'm not separating authors. But anyway, I also managed to get another one of these. So these are the book organisers that Illumicrate had in their March or April box. And obviously I got it, but I want to use it for These Books Will Self-Destruct, to keep them in there in the top tray of my second cart. But all 12 books won't fit in one. So I managed to get a second off eBay. So people were selling this for like £25, and for all of the ones that had it as a make an offer, I offered £10 because I think £10 is a reasonable price. And you know, they all declined it, which was like, okay, fair enough, you didn't want to accept it, that's fine, that's your prerogative. And then one of the people that declined my offer then sent me an offer for £10 like a week later. So clearly they weren't selling, for that price. So they sent out an offer, so I was like, accept offer, because that's what I was willing to pay for it. So I have a second one now, so I can put the books in that. My May Fairy loot came, and I will not be doing what I did with April's box and opening it in my vlog, because let me just tell you, this box is amazing. And I find this with Fairy loot, every so often, like, I will love all their boxes, but every so often there will be one box that I don't like anything out of. It happens about every 6 months, and it's random and it sucks, but most of the time I absolutely love everything in a Fairy loot, or at least a majority. So that's why I keep getting it, because I love it 96% of the time. So yeah, that came today, and I'm gonna film my unboxing. I was gonna do it tonight, but no, I don't have the energy after my day, so I'm gonna just do it at the weekend or tomorrow on my lunch break, see how I feel. And then my Tales by Mail came, and I'm really excited for this. We got a little tote bag, but the 2 books we got in here, so one is Children of the Quicksand by Ifua Traore. This sounds really good, so I'm really excited to give this a go. And then the other one is I actually bought this for someone off of their wish list, and it sounds really good, and I hadn't got round to adding it to my own, which is good because it came in Tales by Mail, and that's the Night Silver Promise by Annalise Avery. And oh, look at that cover, it just sounds so good, and I'm really here for it. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. I have realised, however, I've been getting Tales by Mail for about a year now, and I don't think I've read any of the books from them, and that's really bad. So I think I might make it a goal for the end of the year, because what I want to do, I am basically setting up on my second TBR cart that I've bought. The middle tray is going to be book box books that I haven't read yet, that I want to get to soon. And I think I'm going to just take all of the Tales by Mail books off of my shelves, which will create a little bit of space on my shelves, and put them on that, because I feel like I'm not getting to them, and I want to try and get to at least one book box book a month. Some months maybe even a little bit more, but we'll see. But this is turning into a really long update, so I'm just going to go through now what I have actually read today, which just wait. So I have read both buddy read pages for both these books. Everything's going down right now. We are so close to the end. We have this much left, and I can't actually remember how this one ends, but stuff's happening right now, and I just feel so bad for, like, I feel bad for Oliver. And you know things are bad when you feel bad for Oliver. If you know Oliver from this series, you'll know why it's like a big deal if you feel bad for Oliver. But yeah, I love these books so much, and I'm really enjoying this one. But yeah, this is one of the ones that really has you on the edge of your seat, even as someone who's read it. And yeah, loving it. And then I read my buddy read pages for this. I actually need to message Helen to let her know I've read the pages, because I forgot to, because I was in the midst of trying to order Empire of the Vampire at the time. I really enjoyed today's pages. This is, I can't really, it's not in the blurb, so it'd count as a spoiler, so I'm not going to say. But the plan that they've been scheming for came into motion in today's pages, and I'm curious as to how it's going to go, because they are a bunch of 12-year-olds. So I hope things go to plan, but at the same time, they're 12-year-olds, it's probably not going to. But yeah, really enjoying this. This is so heartwarming, and I feel so bad for Archie sometimes. I can't relate to him because I was one of the few like people in my year in school whose parents are still together. Like, obviously they were still together there, they're still together now. A lot of my friends either had divorced parents or had parents going through a divorce, so there wasn't many of us whose parents were actually still together. So I cannot even imagine what it's like having to go through that, especially when you're a kid. But yeah, it's warming my heart because Archie's just so adorable. And then I can actually take this out now because I finished Scythe. I knew I was going to finish it today. I was not going to sleep tonight until I had finished it. And do you know what? It's only 9:30 now, so I might start another book. But there was a few things in this, like a few little twists and turns, and I didn't see them coming until a couple of pages before, when something just clicked. And at the very end, there's something that one of the characters does which is just absolutely genius. Like, they did it, I'm trying to word this so that I don't spoil anything. They did this thing and it didn't click what they had done until something happened, and it was so well written. Like, this whole book was just genius. I was already really invested in the idea of it because, you know, it's dystopian, no one can die unless you're gleaned by a scythe, and there's these two characters that are basically being trained to be scythes, and it's just so genius in itself. But the way it was written, it's made me want to read other stuff by Neil Shusterman. And obviously I have the other two books in the series. I'm not going to read them straight away because there's a possibility I'll be buddy reading the rest of the series with Ashley and Rachel. We were talking about it on Sprints last night, or rather after Sprints when we was just chatting. And there is a possibility we will be buddy reading it, but they have to buddy read this first, and then we can buddy read like the second and third book together. But this was a 5-star, guys. A 5-star. I thought it was going to be a 4-star, and I was putting my numbers into Corpile, and there was one of them and I was like, I think it was enjoyment. I put it as a 9 at first, but before I entered it I was like, no, there is literally nothing about this I didn't enjoy. Like, enjoyment was like full marks for me. It was just so cleverly written. It was a brilliant plot. The characters were incredible. Like, all of the characters. There wasn't a character I didn't... There was characters I didn't like, but there wasn't a character I didn't like how they had been written. Every character felt like that they had a reason for being written that way, and I just loved how it all come together. And yeah, it come out as a 5-star, and I'm really happy. And this is, I know the month is young, this is only my 3rd book of the month, but this is a contender for my favourite book of the month. But you never know what's going to happen. I have a lot of books on my TBR this month, so we'll see. But as it stands now, this is a contender for the month. But yeah, I finished Scythe. Oh, I'm so happy. This was my out of your comfort zone pick for Whateverathon, because I don't really read much dystopian sci-fi type books, so I class it as out of my comfort zone. I basically class anything that isn't fantasy out of my comfort zone because I rarely read anything other than fantasy. But yeah, so also I get bonus points because it's one of Spoops' favourites, so it's a host fave. Yes. Alright, my plan for tomorrow, obviously I do have work, but like before work or maybe on my lunch break, as well as possibly filming my Fairy Loot unboxing, I want to make a start on editing this week's vlog because I've actually got content this week. Actually have content, and I'm really happy with that because last week was such a write-off. And I know it was because I had my nephew here, but like I'm already feeling better about this week. I've finished one book. I'm going to be finishing these two in the next few days, and hopefully I can finish this by the end of the weekend, because I'll be listening to it audibly as well as reading along, so it will be a lot quicker for me. And to be fair, the first time I read this, I read it super quick anyway. I think I read it in like 3 days, and that was purely only physically reading it. And this is going to be a reread, so it's going to be quicker for me. So yeah, that's my plan, but I will catch up with you tomorrow. Hello, it is Friday. It's Friday. Work was hectic today, but I was productive, because not only was I productive in work, but on my lunch break I filmed my Fairy Lit unboxing, and then I finished 2 books today. 2. So first up, I want to show you the mail I got today. It's not bookish. Actually, I did get bookish mail, and I left it downstairs. First off, let me show you the other one. So I got this jumper from Magic Moon Club. Yeah, Magic Moon Club, which is the same place I got my magical planner from. I'll leave the shop. This isn't like an ad or anything. I bought this with my own money. I just think this is awesome and want to share. I got this. It's got Anti-Heroes Club, and then on here it's got Loki. It's got Loki, and I'm really sad it's summer almost, which means I can't wear it without dying from heat stroke, but I love it. And I purely blame Liv for this purchase, because she saw them post a picture of it on their Instagram, and she sent me it, and I was like instantly on their website buying it. They also have a Deadpool one, and they also have the Heroes Club, which they have a Hulk one, a Captain America one, an Iron Man one, and I think they've got a few others as well, but this is me. Of course I was getting Loki. And then I'm purely too lazy to go downstairs to get the book, but I do have a copy of it. Helen over at Helen's Book Haven sent me her copy of Happily Ever After. This copy is actually the one I borrowed off Liv and have not got round to reading yet. But Helen messaged me after she finished reading it and offered to send me her copy. So I DNF'd the air. And I'm not reading The Crown. But this is short stories based off the original 3 books in the selection series, which I still love, so I'm very happy to have my own copy, and I can now give this copy back to Liv. So thank you, Liv, for lending me this in the first place over a year ago, but also thank you, Helen, for sending me your copy. I'm looking forward to reading it, because obviously I haven't read it yet. But yeah, and then reading updates. I finished 2 books today. So the first one I finished was Me, My Dad and the End of the Rainbow. This was a 4-star. This was so wholesome. There was a conversation that Archie has with someone, and it just proper got me. And then the ending was just really cute, and yeah, it was really lovely. And as well as being like pretty informative about like pride and sexualities and everything, it was just also very informative, like to kids, to, you know, not go to London on your own without an adult, not telling anyone that you've gone there. But it was a really fun read, and I was through the entire book thinking it was either going to be a 3 or 4 star. I wasn't really sure, but then the ending just felt more of a 4-star read to me, and then when I put everything through Corpile, it came out as 4-star, so I was right, and I really enjoyed this. This was my pick for Whateverathon for cover that reminds you of a pride flag. This obviously has all the rainbow colours, and then if you look in here, it all looks like a pride flag. So yeah, really loved this, and thank you, Helen, for buddy reading it with me. We was also supposed to finish this tomorrow, but we both just decided to finish it today instead, so yeah. And then the other buddy read I was supposed to finish tomorrow I finished today. This was actually my Whateverathon pick for buddy read. Obviously I buddy read this with my mum and my sister. My mum has not quite finished it yet. My sister has. But this one, I genuinely thought this might be the one that gets 5-star on core pile, but it still didn't. It still didn't. Out of the 9 we've now read, this is my favourite so far. This and number 7. They are 2 of my favourites. This one has a really creepy vibe. Something goes down in the town. Literally goes down. And there's just, it's creepy, but I love it so much. This one gets me though. This one makes me cry in 2 parts. But anyway, it's fine. I loved this. It was a 4-star again. And I, yeah, absolutely loved this. There are 2 kids playing down the side of my house. Their dad is like messing around in one of the garages. And there's Belle barking at them. Belle's in the garden. Belle can't see them. They can't see Belle. Anyway, back to books. So I did start Blood Witch today. I was listening to the audiobook for a bit whilst I was working, and I thought I'd got quite a way into it. 37 pages. I don't know what made me think I was further into it, because I was only 4 chapters. I don't know. But I was starting to get a bit distracted because work was just getting a bit too busy to be able to focus on both, so I did stop. But yeah, I'm really excited to continue reading this. I was going to read a little bit more tonight, but I thought I'm going to treat myself to an episode of Narcos because I've not watched it in like forever. So I'm going to watch an episode of Narcos. But yeah, so I'm really happy with this week so far. I've already finished 3 books. And, you know, I've still got the whole of tomorrow, or most of tomorrow. I'm hoping I can read Orion Lost tomorrow, because I am going to take my time a little bit with this because I'm listening along with the audiobook. I think I'm going to save the rest of this for next week. I might listen to a little bit tomorrow whilst I'm walking to and from town and everything. But the majority of this I'm probably going to save till the week, like next week. So there's that. So I'm thinking tomorrow my plan is I'm going to try and read Orion Lost, or at least most of it. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm gonna take my makeup off because my eyes are starting to sting a little bit, and I'm gonna get in bed and watch an episode of Narcos because it's been a while and I want Pedro Pascal's face on my screen. So yeah, it's been so long that it's no longer in my continue watching. There, oh, there's his face. Okay. So, season 2, episode 7 I'm on. Let's go. Hello, it is technically Sunday, but we're going to say Saturday. It's like almost 1 AM. I have had a fairly productive day. So I redid my roots. I edited my vlog, and let me just tell you, it is a lot better than last week's content wise. It's like triple the amount than last week. But updates, whilst I was doing my hair, I listened to the audiobook, and I'm now almost 150 pages in. Loving being back in this world. This is my favourite book so far and I love it so much. So yeah, and then I both started and finished Orion Lost. I literally finished this about 5 minutes ago and I started it at like dinner time yesterday. This was really good. So this was my pick for hauled in the past year. This is middle grade. It's a sci-fi. It also does have, I'm stretching it a bit, it does count for LGBTQ plus, because one of the main characters, he has 2 dads. So I'm counting that. But this was really fun. I'm really glad I read this. The character development is amazing, like watching the characters learn from their mistakes. And I mean, at the end of the day, there are a bunch of like young teenagers who are having to like get this ship to safety because all the adults are still in this sleep. And it's genius. I love it. It's brilliant. It come out as a 4-star, so I'm very happy about that. But I'm not going to start anything else now. However, this book leads me on to my next book, because my next book is going to be The Creakers, which is my last letter, first letter. So the last letter of this is T, first letter T. So obviously I will update you in next week's vlog about this, but my aim is to read all of this tomorrow, well, today, Sunday, because it's like very big writing and there's lots of illustrations, and I usually get through Tom Fletcher books pretty quickly. So yeah, that's my plan. But I'm gonna wrap this vlog up now because I'm trying to speak quietly because everyone's asleep apart from me. So this week has been a much better week than last week, both for content and reading. So obviously last week I literally only read 2 books, one of which was only 63 pages, but this week I have finished 4 books and started a 5th, so that is progress. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Bye.